I'm going to be impeached. They're going to impeach me.
Donald Trump flew into one of the most conservative Republican states in America to rescue a campaign that's spiraling into crisis. This should have been home turf for him, the kind of place where Trump is usually met with roaring applause, chants, and near unwavering support. But that's not what happened. In the middle of his speech, a protester repeatedly interrupted him, forcing Trump to stop not once, but twice. And instead of quickly taking control of the moment, his response only made the situation more awkward. In just 5 words, Trump revealed something startling. He seemed to have no idea what was happening right in front of him, or how much frustration is beginning to build inside his own political stronghold. I'm going to show you the clips in just a moment. But first, meet the person Trump flew all the way down there to save, because that person is at the center of this entire disaster.
Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? And if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, but I do support the military. My brother was in the Air Force for 33 years, so I will do everything I can to support the military. My dad was in the Army. I'm not a polished politician up here. National security is not my thing, not my area of expertise, but I do support the military.
I tripped up on one question last night regarding Taiwan. But, you know, I've said many times, I'm not a politician, certainly not a career politician. I don't speak politician. But I think people in South Carolina are more worried about making ends meet. They're concerned about boys and girls sports. One lady talked to me extensively about that today.
I'm sorry. I know she's just pinch hitting, but that's disqualifying.
This crowd didn't just show up to hear Trump speak. They showed up to try to save Darling Graham. She's facing the very real possibility of losing in the primary. Even though she inherited this Senate seat after her brother, Lindsey Graham, died while still in office. The governor appointed her to replace him despite the fact that Darling had never been elected to or held any public office before. But now, even the Republican base isn't convinced. Trump knows it. That's why he kept saying Darling's name more than 50 times at a single event, as if repeating it often enough could somehow drag her across the finish line. But that's the problem. This campaign is sinking, and Trump just showed up to try to keep it afloat. What happened next showed exactly how bad things have gotten.
It's a disgusting thing. So you're going to lose everything. I'm going to have to go through impeachment. These are lunatics. These are people that are vicious, violent, that weaponize the justice system, the Justice Department, and they want to destroy our country. They want to see that our country fail. They want our country to fail, and we can't let that happen. You have to get out and vote in the midterms. Oh, I see. You're going to impeach him. Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Donald Trump flew into one of the most conservative Republican states in America to rescue a campaign that's spiraling into crisis. This should have been home turf for him, the kind of place where Trump is usually met with roaring applause, chants, and near unwavering support. But that's not what happened. In the middle of his speech, a protester repeatedly interrupted him, forcing Trump to stop not once, but twice. And instead of quickly taking control of the moment, his response only made the situation more awkward. In just 5 words, Trump revealed something startling. He seemed to have no idea what was happening right in front of him, or how much frustration is beginning to build inside his own political stronghold. I'm going to show you the clips in just a moment. But first, meet the person Trump flew all the way down there to save, because that person is at the center of this entire disaster.
To make it easier. Was that a good thing? Was that good or bad? I think she said Trump Nation. I like that. I like that. I like that. Leave her alone. Don't do it. She said Trump Nation. That's okay. Trump Nation's okay. I wasn't sure. You never know what they're saying nowadays, do you, front row? That's all right. That person's going home to mom, going to get scolded because mom is voting for us. You know, mom is voting.
This video isn't just drawing attention because of the public protest, the obscene gestures, or the moment Trump stood on stage looking completely confused. What matters even more is the real atmosphere inside that room. This didn't feel like a rally fueled by optimism, excitement, or confidence in victory. The mood was far heavier than that. Frustration, resentment, and anger were written all over the crowd's reactions. It was the kind of anger that always needs someone to blame someone who has to be held responsible for every problem people feel they're facing. Sometimes that target is Democrats, other times it's immigrants. And at times it can be just about any group that gets turned into the enemy in the political story they've heard repeated over and over again. Trump has maintained his connection with part of his base by speaking directly to that mindset. He doesn't just make promises, he constantly gives them someone to blame. But that creates a serious problem. Once that anger is pushed high enough, it's no longer easy to control even for the person who helped stir it up. And that is exactly what we're seeing in this clip. After nearly a decade of talking about his loyal crowds, his biggest ever rallies, and the love his supporters have for him, Trump still seemed unable to recognize that. In certain moments, that loyalty had turned into open opposition right in front of him. He flew in to help a candidate whose campaign is facing serious trouble. A candidate who has struggled to win over even voters within her own party and has acknowledged that national security is not her area of expertise. This was supposed to be Trump's opportunity to show his influence, unite the voters, and get that campaign back on track. Instead, the event was overtaken by protests, repeated interruptions, and an increasingly obvious sense that things were slipping out of control. Trump tried to keep speaking. He tried to recreate the familiar atmosphere of one of his rallies, but nothing around him was following that script anymore. The moment reached its peak when Trump had to ask whether the reaction he had just received was good or bad. And Donald, the answer couldn't be clearer. It was a very bad sign. If this is truly a snapshot of the MAGA mood heading into the midterms, they have plenty to worry about. For more breaking developments and political stories that matter, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss our next videos.